This is Blake with Recruitment Hockey coming at you with another video. On this YouTube channel, it's going to be a lot of different things. So everything from skills to I want to do a couple like chalk talks and then just talking about the hockey landscape in general. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to go over a really basic offensive zone entry and how to attack, and we'll go from there. A little precursor to the video. It's pretty early at the time of filming this, so I just got out of bed, and so did my dogs. If you can see, one of them's right there trying to be in the video. So if I have to like pause the video at random times, they're just kind of rambunctious right now, and they just ate, so they want to go out and play. But I got a little 4-month-old beagle and a 2-year-old stray mix that I don't know what he is. So hopefully they're quiet for the next 5 to 10 minutes, but having dogs, that is very unlikely. So that's just if you hear them in the background, that's what that is. So to start, talking about the offensive zone, not the neutral zone. We're not going over the D zone, simply just this part of the ice. So we'll make that our offensive zone today. We got to have 3 forwards, so the vocabulary of it, F1, F2, F3. It doesn't matter if you're a center, left wing, right wing. You're F1, F2, F3 the older you get. Something I always tell guys is 5 guys, 5 spots. You might be playing defense for a shift. So, defense hops up, you got to know what they're doing. So we won't get into that too much today, but you hear me say F1, F2, F3, that's what I'm referring to. Forward 1, forward 2, forward 3. So let's just say F1 has the puck here. Whatever. Has the puck. He's about to enter the zone. He's got speed going forward. Say there's my F2, and then obviously my F3 is trailing the entire play just because he hasn't caught up quite yet, if you can see that. So what the first thing we gotta do, the most important thing, assuming that the other team has 2 defensemen, and like I said, I got sloppy handwriting, so those are 2 defense from the opponent team. Make these guys make a decision, right? So when I'm coming through, I want to back check. I want to go hard, straight to the inside post, splitting the D. A lot of times these D will be closer. I kind of drew them out wide, where I'll even tell players go right through their shoulder. So go right through their shoulder, create some sort of chaos, make them make a decision. So when this guy, he goes hard to the net, when this guy's entering the zone, F3's coming up high, that's going to either pull the D back or, there's a lot of different things. I can't really draw them all up, but it's either the D's going to have to make a decision regardless. So that leaves a lot of time for F1 to make a play. All right. So let's say he goes to the net, F1 starts getting into this spot. He's ready to make his play, maybe a button hook, go to the net, whatever. We won't get into that quite yet. When we get here now, so let's just draw the play 5 seconds in advance. Let's say F2 is down into this area. Let's say that I'll show you in a second. Let's say that the opposing D stayed on top of him. This D stayed up a little bit higher, and our F1 stayed here. So what I drew up, again, is that this is our F2. He just went to the net. That's the opposing D. He made a decision to kind of stick with that F2, and that other D is kind of lost in no man's land. All right, so now we got F3. F3 coming from the middle of the ice. He needs to get lost up top. So reading, reacting. Obviously, now we're going to start having back checkers. Hopefully you can see that. The camera's backwards too. So what we got is that he has to get lost up, high slot, but not too high where he has a weaker shot. So if he's up here at the blue line, and if he turns that puck over, it's a blue line turnover. He needs to get a little bit lower, get into a soft space. Maybe it's down here. Just finding that little pocket for F1 to be able to hit him with a pass. Maybe even be low enough where a strong rebound kicks out and he can be the one to it. All right. So that's the basics of the basics. So when we're coming in, there's a lot of different things that we can do. And like I said, I can't really draw them all up because you got to be able to read and react. But when we have, is what I always say is, so if I'm F1 up here and I'm coming down, all my guys are doing their thing. There's the 2D, RF2's driving the net. You got to get your eyes up. All right. So if I'm this guy right here, I always say my players, look back at this area of the ice. This area of the ice. Right? All up in this area. Because not only am I going to see the goalie out of my left peripheral, I'm going to see where these 2D are. I see where my player is. I see the back checkers, probably up to this part of the ice, coming in. And then I also see my F3 starting to filter into this area as well. All right. So what I mean is, and what I forgot to say is that I'm also looking for their back checker coming along this side. Let's say that's their back checker trying to come across and Scott Stevens me. All right. So the older you get, especially if you're in a league that can hit, I mean, I don't even know what leagues can hit anymore. You're also keeping your eyes up for that player. So when you use your eyes, and I start getting in here, I always like to kind of cut in here. So now I can make an option. Now I got a lot of options. I make these 2D, make a decision. Are you going to come play me, or are you going to let me shoot from the slot? Are you going to play my other winger? Are you going to play even my defenseman trailing? All right. Not only that, I'm watching to make sure I don't get crushed across the middle. So that's why it's important. I get across this blue line, I get my eyes up, and I'm looking back. I'm looking back into this area because now I see this. Right? That's pretty much the cone of what I see. Instead of looking straight ahead, and this being the cone that I see where there's only 3 other players. Oops, it's kind of out of there. So if I'm looking straight at the net the whole time, that's all I see. That's 3. That's defense, F2. I look up here. Now I see my F2 goalie, D, F3, and obviously the back checkers, and even maybe if my defensemen are already up there. I hope that makes sense. So you can kind of see when I get my eyes up, I'm looking this way. I got my peripherals on my right, peripherals on my left, and then obviously my straight vision. So I hope I explained that as easy as I could. Long story short, get your eyes up. Don't be looking through a tunnel, right? Open up the blinders, see what's coming. Especially the older you get, you can't be skating with your head down because you're going to have a really tough time. Now, obviously, I showed that super basic zone entry. One thing is, don't be robotic. So I can sit here and say, F1, go down, pull up, F2, go to the net, F3, filter in high. I can say that all day, every day. Now, that's not a bad option, of course, but there's all those different options like I just explained. Being able to come down, cut across, right? Making these D either sag up or stop, playing up on you, right? I can, obviously, get down a little bit lower, below the hashes, and then button hook. Or I can stay high, throw on the brakes, and be here, right? Most important thing is I'm getting my eyes, and I'm seeing all this ice. If that makes sense. So like I said, don't be robotic, but the thing that does kind of have to be robotic in a way is that there's a guy driving the net and there's a guy staying, your F3 stays high, because if the puck does get turned over, obviously you want to play defense first. So making sure that the puck carrier is being creative, I guess. The puck carrier can be more creative than F2 and F3. F2 and F3, their job is pretty much the same every time. Drive the net, keep a third guy high. Speed variation. So I actually learned this my first year junior. I was in a slump, and I was like, I just can't. I wasn't a big goal scorer, anyways, but I was just struggling to put the puck in the net, and I was watching Patrick Kane. So what Patrick Kane was talking about was speed variation. So either coming in at the net every single time, 1,000 miles per hour, 1,000 miles per hour, doing the same thing. Slowing down is not a bad thing. Obviously, we never want to slow down on the blue line. If we slow down on the blue line, we're going to make it tough on our teammates. But you start staying in that athletic position, you start slowing your feet down a little bit, getting in here, let these D's sag off. Right? Assuming that you got a break on the back checkers coming, even if you got a super small one, it's better than nothing. All right? We want to isolate what these defensemen do. Most importantly, that one. All right, if he wants to sag off, leaves a lot of room for me to go and make a play, right? If he wants to go and be a third goal or a second goaltender, that's totally fine. If he wants to stop, he's got to stop his momentum. I still got a little bit of momentum going. So varying your speed, it doesn't always have to be 1,000 miles per hour, and a lot of times with younger players, 1,000 miles per hour right into the corner. 1,000 miles per hour right into the corner. Right? So vary your speed. Don't be robotic. Be creative. I think that's pretty much it. Let's see if I have anything else written down. No. So, like I said, that's super basic. And obviously, being a hockey player, I can only write up so many things. At some point, you got to be able to read and react and make your own plays and make your own decisions. But when it comes to, just the basic zone entry, always making sure that you got the F2 going to the net through that inside post, right? You don't want to be going to that back post and getting lost, because then you're not isolating anyone. Isolating that D, if you want to make them make that decision. Are you going to come stick with me and leave all that space for the puck carrier? Or are you going to let me go by and give me options? So that's pretty much all I can say. Like I said, it's just a 10-minute short little clip, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm always available. I love talking hockey too, so please don't hesitate to ask. I also wanted to, since I'm in this setting, just kind of address what recruitment hockey is too. So I created a database of players and teams that is dedicated to moving players on to junior or college hockey. I hope to get more into the AAA and prep side of things, but as of now, I'm mostly dedicated to juniors and college. So what I've created is just a database for players to put out their information, such as height, weight, name, film, anything you can really think of. Players can put that on my site, and then I have a database of teams that I've been working with for the last couple of years that use my resources, that can easily find their next player. So that's what recruitment hockey is, and it's a really cool tool, and I've enjoyed using it, creating it, and working with the players. So if you would check out my website, www.recruitmenthockey.com, that'd be super awesome. But like I said, feel free to like, comment, share my videos. It helps grow my channel and my other channels too. So my channels of recruitment hockey, our Facebook, Instagram, everything. It just really helps. So I appreciate anybody that does do that. But yeah, my contact info is on the website, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And I appreciate you spending the last 15 minutes with me. Thank you.